So this is part 2 of this Jaguar XJ8 traction problem. You can see the light was flashing there at default. So that's what I showed you in the first video. 3 of the wheel signals were very hashy, and I believed that this was creating the problem. Thought the car was slipping or in ice or whatever, and that's what cut the power. So what I done was I had a quick visual inspection at all the 2 rear hubs, because you could see them, but you can see that the rings weren't cracked or anything like that. They were dirty, and in between the bits, I then went and cleaned them all out. But this is seemed to be quite a known problem on a Jag, that the corrosion gets in here, and rather than make them being round, they become oval. So what I then decided to do, I connected the scan tool, and one by one I went to the wheel and spun it. And I got some funny readings here, to tell you the honest truth, because when I spun that back one, it came up as the front one. You can see that front right. So how you actually thing with this tool is you're meant to stand in front of the car and looking at that side, the right and left. It's not like you're in the driver's seat. So that one was coming up as the front right, and it should have been the rear right. So I knew that the scan tool was giving me problems. I then went to the front driver's side, spun that, so that should be front left. And what was it came up the scan tool? No, that one was reading correct. That was the only good one that I did have. So we took it from there, and then I think you see what one's this? That's front right. Then that's the passenger side. I gave that a spin, and I got no reading at all. So what was actually happening here was the scan tool was reading wrong. It was reading the back ones twice, and it was only reading the front driver's side. Another 2. That's why the hash looked exactly the same. So I then took off some of the sensors and I ohmed them out. You can see here that that was the back sensor, and that was 8.22 mega ohms. So that's just for somebody's reference. You can ohm it one way, but it'll be infinity the other way. So the modification to this was actually this. It was a 1 1/4 inch washer underneath the sensor. And you can see that in the picture there. After I'd cleaned up all the rings, I put that underneath, and believe it or not, that cured all the problems, because it was the 2 back ones that was causing the problem. And this is the graph that I took after the problem had been resolved. So you can see that it looks a lot cleaner, less hash. And as I said, the scan tool was not reading right in the first place, but you can see that it was maybe 1 mile an hour difference for the good front left, which you see there, but the software could cope with that, and the car has driven fine. So after cleaning up these hubs and spending many hours at it, a couple of washers was the solution. One other thing at the end, I could not clear this wheel speed rear left input in the engine module. You can see there, and I kept trying to clear it, came back immediately. So what I done was I drove it, stopped it, drove it, stopped it, and as I was scanning it, you can see here we're actually driving along the road at this point, and the RPM is up, so the car's moving. But I'll then go to this next wee graph, and you can see up here that it didn't actually clear, the speedo didn't clear itself till I hit 13 miles an hour after I had done a restart 3 times, and then the thing just cleared itself. So there was no way within the scan tool that it would clear, but that then cleared it, and the traction control works, and the guy's quite happy with it. So hope that helps someone out there. 2 washers, don't even bother cleaning them up, because that's the solution. Cheers.